I'm Jamie Love. I'm the CEO and founder of Monumental Marketing, which is a growth marketing and PR agency in London. Monumental Marketing was started out of passion. I started in PR and marketing when I was just about 9 years old through modeling and fashion, and then from there it escalated into PR and events. And it's the only thing I know how to do, and I absolutely adore it. And through this passion, it made me realize that there was a real gap in the market, especially in London, for just a very results-driven, honest agency, and that's what I created. So I was working with loads of agencies before, and I just felt like they were missing the mark. It was great to kind of be out there and crazy and come up with really cool brand concepts and brand awareness concepts, but what most companies need is hardcore sales. So that's why I thought growth is definitely what we should specialize in, and then my whole background is in digital acquisition, so it was an obvious choice for me. Funding, I just thought it was really important for me just to retain the business and grow it on my own. I did have friends and family involved, of course, at the very early stages when I was thinking about the concept and the idea, just to make sure that it actually had legs and someone actually would have bought from it. And then from there on, it was just up to me to create it. I'm quite an independent person, I'm quite stubborn, so I was able to just stick to my guns and just build something that I knew and I saw very clearly in my head. Now, of course, I take more advice from people, but just because it's actually based on, well, you've done this, so why not try this? And it's more based on what I've done as opposed to what other people have done, because I think that's my biggest issue with asking for advice. They usually relate it to someone else. Whereas with Monumental, I just wanted it to be a reflection of what I saw in my brain. Monumental first started in May 2017. At this time, I was still full-time employed, so I was just doing a bit of it on the side. I had one client, I think, or two. And for me, the tipping point would have been when I matched my own salary to make it worth the jump. I mean, it was really difficult because, as I said, I was working full time, I was living quite far away from my job, so I felt like my days were just never ending. But I did manage to match my salary after about 3 to 4 months, and that's when I made the jump. So September 2017 is when it all kind of came to life as such. And between that and then getting an office was another maybe 6 months. Still developing, the client list, and with marketing it does take time to get people in the door and signed up and start working with them. So I think probably altogether maybe about 9 months before we got our first office, started recruiting people, and now 2 years in, we've grown exponentially in terms of client size, and the team of course changes because as a business develops you might require different things, but I feel that for the first time ever, we're actually in quite a good position, and let's hope it carries on. It's really simple. It's just all about loving what you do and having passion for what you do. I don't think I've ever woken up once in the last 2 years thinking, oh my god, I need to go to work. For me, my job is my absolute passion, so I wouldn't really want to be doing anything else. I tried not doing marketing, or when I did it for other people, I would still pick up things on the side and try things out on the side. So for me, it really is my true passion, and that's what keeps me motivated. So many competing priorities. For me, it was very much around, okay, how do I get another customer? How do I get another client? How do I grow this? And then, not to mention the actual operational aspects of a business, such as how do I choose an accountant? How do I choose a lawyer? And those are kind of things that you're never really ready for. And really, it just comes down to research. However, the other aspect of it is also your mental health. So at the very beginning of starting Monumental, I was literally just sat at home on my own for 6 months. And it is really, really difficult on your mind and on your mental health, and I probably did suffer for it. Looking back now, in hindsight, I'd definitely do it all over again because it's got me here. But at the time, staying motivated and passionate and kind of working towards that bigger goal of what I'm doing is going to be worth, this crappy week or a tough month, because you're working towards building something that's much bigger than you. So I think, staying motivated at the very beginning, knowing where to turn, and looking after your mental health. Making your first hire is really important, and I think the most difficult part is knowing when is the right time. So for me, it was working out just like a couple of months before the right time, so that when the time came, you were all set up and ready to go. I mean, it is difficult when you're bootstrapped to do that, because of course you don't have the deepest pockets to be able to do that. But for me, I think it was early last year, so end of year 1, that I took on my first person. The team did grow to up to 12, and then we scaled it back down again as the business kind of evolved. The things I look for when I hire someone, there's actually just one thing, and that's passion. I don't tend to hire people that are from traditional marketing backgrounds, just because I feel passion will trump everything. If you've got the passion, you're going to want to learn more, you're going to want to find new things, you're going to want to innovate. And you can't teach that. You can teach someone marketing, but you can't teach them the passion side of it. So for me, it just comes down to a very simple thing, and it's passion. I know how it feels to work with agencies. So I feel like I've really taken that on board and created a seamless experience for my clients, or at least that's what I always strive to do. It's worked. When we get reviews and testimonials, it always is mentioned that the experience at Monumental is second to none. Most recently, we worked with a client on a campaign in Edinburgh, and her testimonial was all around how passionate we are, how in touch we are with what's happening right now. We're on the pulse, and most importantly, no matter what time of day or night she called us, we would always answer with the most enthusiasm and absolute joy and love for what we do. And for me, that was such a huge milestone, because, as I said, that's what I strive towards, that's what I've built the business on. And for someone who works with us as a client to recognize that and cherish that was absolutely amazing. The one piece of advice I would give to a young entrepreneur is to get creative and go beyond your resources. It goes such a long way to just think creatively about how to problem solve, about where you need to be in business, and think of creative steps to get there. And I think the success of Monumental really relies on that. Whether you're a startup, a scale-up, or a grown-up and need some marketing and PR support, feel free to reach out to monumentalmarketing.co.uk. You can also reach out to me directly via LinkedIn or Instagram at Mr. Jamie Love.